one interception, Marcellus, since week 12. Now, yesterday, Baker sounded like he's up for the challenge of getting his team in the playoffs. Y'all take a listen.
I've had my back against the wall many a times in my life. I think I handle that type of stuff correctly. These are the moments you ask for when you're little. You dream of playing in the games where it comes down to you have the ball in your hands and you want to take care of business. It comes down to the moments where you have to win.
I hear you, Baker. Say it with your chest. Moments you have to win. Well, Bucky's back with us, but Marcellus, are you convinced Baker Mayfield can get it done this weekend?
No, I'm not convinced. And I told you off mic, off camera, I'm going to say it to the world. I'm starting to feel bad at how many times I got to talk bad about Baker Mayfield, but he just keeps feeding me all this ammunition that I'm like, damn, I actually like him in terms of his potential. But then he opens his mouth, or sometimes the way he plays, and I just have to come up here and do my job. I'm not convinced Baker Mayfield is going to get it done this weekend. Who can be convinced? Some people may have confidence, and it may be a waning confidence, or it may be a growing confidence, but that's it. No one is convinced that Baker Mayfield will get it done this weekend. I don't care who comes out there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baker Mayfield is the type of guy who will go out there and tell you something like, you know what, my back's been against the wall a lot in my life. And you know what, I always respond. But in reality, Baker Mayfield is really the guy who walks up to a wall, puts his back on it, and then say, my back's always against the wall. Hey, Baker, it's a big difference, big dog.
That's a good take,
Hey, thanks, John Heller, for that take. Thank you, John Heller, for that take. Hey, a brother like me, my back's been against the wall before. Baker Mayfield walking on in schools is not necessarily back against the wall as much as you just walked up to a wall and put your back on it. All right. He says then, after that, he says, these are the moments you ask for, the moments you dream of. Really? I've been an 8-year-old with a Nerf ball and throwing it up in the air, and I never say, man, I want to be 10-5 outside the playoffs, and I need to win that game. No one in their mind has ever dreamed of a I must win to get in the playoffs moment, but Baker Mayfield obviously did. I told you, I'm feeling really guilty of how many times I have to come out here and not in a positive way talk about Baker Mayfield. So maybe you guys can cheer me up by saying something positive about Baker.
Let me say something positive, not yet about Baker. Marcellus, Bucky, that take was so good, I should have known it wasn't yours.
It was John Heller.
I know. I hope you got your producer a phenomenal Christmas gift sale, because he do more work than you on this show.
You got to ask him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, America, just so you know, Marcellus Wiley out here ghost writing take.
I did not.
Ghost read.
Right. I said his name 3 times.
You out here using ghost. You out here going platinum on somebody else's work. I hate you. I hate you.
Jay-Z wrote for Drake. What's the problem?
What's the problem? Let me get to my take, which I came up with myself.
Oh, listen, it ain't gonna be good.
Hard work and labor.
It ain't gonna be good.
I expect Baker to get it done this weekend, and I do. In the game of football, Sal, you know this, Bucky, you know this, fans, I'm gonna say this slowly so y'all don't get all crazy on me. You can either do 2 things. You can win a game because you did not lose it, or you can win a game because you went out there and won it. We've talked about this before.
See, this happens when you don't use a producer's tape. You hear this? Y'all hear this BS? You can win because you don't lose.
You can win, like you can. There's a difference between turnovers and takeaways.
Oh yeah,
right? We know that. There's a difference between turnovers and takeaways. There's a difference between winning the game and there's a difference between not losing the game. What I know is this, Sal.
What you know?
Baker Mayfield's not going to lose the game.
I don't know.
How do I know that?
How?
He's thrown 1 interception since week 8. That's tied for the best in the NFL with Deshaun Watson.
Week 8?
So if I can already tell you that you're going to split the coin, and the splitting the coin is either you don't lose or you win, I'm telling you right now, Baker's not going to lose the game. So now the question, Sal, is only simply, will Baker win the game? Baker got 10 passing touchdowns since week 12. More than Russell Wilson, more than Big Ben, more than Phillip Rivers, more than Lamar Jackson, more than Justin Herbert. So I don't know how, Marcellus, you can still go out there and doubt a man who's shown you, number 1, I'm not going to lose the game. So I'm not going to be the reason for us to lose. And number 2, if all else fails, now not all else, because if you run out of receivers, that ain't going to work. But if most else fails, I can still win you the game. So, Sal, I understand that you had to use a borrowed take. I'm not mad at you. Just make sure you
Not all of it, just
make sure you return your take at the end of the show. Okay, go give your producer his take back. All I'm saying is Baker can get it done because he ain't going to lose, and if need be, he going to win. What you got, Buck?
Wait. So let me get this. So there are 2 things you can do. You can not lose the game.
Correct.
Or you can go win the game.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me rewind and go back to Sunday. So Sunday, Baker Mayfield that I watched against the New York Jets, who only had one win, that Baker Mayfield fumbled the ball 3 times, and 2 of those were lost. So I think that is a way to lose the game, if I'm not mistaken, based on that logic. So I think Baker has shown that he can lose the game. But here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it with my chest all poked out for Baker Mayfield right now. If Baker Mayfield cannot beat the Pittsburgh Steelers JV team, then he'll never lead the Browns into the postseason, into the Super Bowl. If he can't beat all the backups, Mason Rudolph, and a bunch of guys that are trolling around in practice squad jerseys that are getting called up on Sunday, then it'll never happen. And I'm going to say this. If they win it, the best way for the Browns to win it is to take it out of his hands and to give it to Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Ooh. So, yes, he could be the guy that stands up at the podium at the end and say, yay, I won, yay, I won, because of the efforts of everybody else. But the only way that the Browns can do it is if they let the other guys win it for him and not put it all on Baker to try and get it done. Because we saw what it looked like last week.
You all are the worst kind of...
What you mean, you people?
You all. All y'all. All y'all.
All right, Booger.
Is the worst...
I am the wrong dude to be on TV. Look, everybody gets it. That's my dog.
Y'all the worst kind of analyst as it pertains to Baker Mayfield. Because y'all putting him in a can't-win situation. If the Browns lose, it's all Baker's fault. He'll never be a competent quarterback. If the Browns win, it's not Baker's fault at all. It's all on the running backs. Like, come on, Bucky. You setting them up to fail. Let me tell you this. Were y'all not around when Cleveland beat Tennessee and Baker Mayfield had 4 touchdown passes? Yep. Like, were y'all not there for that? Did y'all not see when Baker Mayfield still gave y'all, I believe, 3 total touchdowns against Baltimore? Were y'all not there when Baker gave y'all 2 touchdowns and no picks the week before?
Did they win the Baltimore game? They didn't win the Baltimore game.
It got quiet on the set. Don't do that. Don't fact check them. Don't fact check them, Bucky. Don't do that.
Was it Baker's fault?
I just went to the locker room, so I got some cramps. So I just came out and see if did I miss that?
Was it Baker's fault they lost? I'm confident Baker can get it done. Stefanski, I don't know. He the one that said, "Hey, let's pass the ball."
I'm out of screen.
He the one who said, "Let's pass the ball."
Now.
Sal, let me ask you this.
I know I got you when you say no. Sal.
Let me ask you this. What? Was it Baker's fault that Baker threw the ball 53 times last game? Did Baker call the plays?
No.
No, he didn't. Who got Kevin Stefanski? So, of course, it's Kevin Stefanski's fault.
You can win with 53 pass attempts, too.
Well, you don't. Tom Brady didn't when he had his career-high passing attempts this year. He ain't winning. He the greatest of all time.
So that's the rule, then, because Tom Brady didn't do it and Baker Mayfield didn't do it.
What the hell are you talking about? Why don't you ask Siri for another take, Marcel?
Okay.
You're borrowing take. Call Siri and see if Siri's going to give you a take.
You forgot. I grew up with jokes now. Yo, Colin Coward, Nick Wright, full screen, stealing ass every day. You better not come in here. I talk to my producer several times a day. If he said something doper than me, it's coming out. And I said his name twice, but you were laughing so much at his take because it was so fire. Shout out to John Miller. I have too many points. One, you got suckered. Damn, Baker Mayfield fooled you too. Y'all got to do reading. I know, you know, I prepare a little different because I try to do the gumbo preparation. Because if you just stay in one lane, you're going to miss out on these preparation moments like this. A turnover is a turnover. Stop cooking the books. Acho he is so gung-ho over the fact that Baker, since week 8, only has 1 interception.
Yes, sir.
How many fumbles? Quiet for a reason. 7. They are writing articles about this in Cleveland right now. You can Google it. 7 fumbles. He's lost 4 of them since week 8. You want to talk about this? So what he did was he was throwing it to the other team. Then he was like, you know what? I'm not. And including 3 against the Jets, including his version of a butt fumble almost. Here's the thing about Baker Mayfield. I don't know if he's the reason they win games or lose games. I don't know internally, but from the outside, I can pick apart what's happening in his performances, and it's just so simple. The guy is trying to tell me he's going to respond to the pressure because he's always responded to the pressure. Really? After that 3-fumble performance against the Jets, you took 1 question and dipped. You put it all on yourself and didn't want to hear the Q&A. You didn't want to stay in that fire. You took 1 question and dipped. Why you do that? If your back's against the wall and you're used to coming out of these situations, always Baker Mayfield. How did you handle your rookie year success, Baker Mayfield? By getting Hugh Jackson fired? And then how did that turn out? You hired your boy, Freddie Kitchen. Then you went through a sophomore slump. He gets fired. And now you're in this position right now where you don't know if you're a franchise quarterback in Cleveland or not. All I'm saying is I'm going to use Baker's performances and words against him. And all of that adds up, Acho, to a deficit right now. I'm looking